All right. What's going on, everybody? You're tuning into game one. Hot start for Emily Benson. You just saw a one-run home run on the first swing. We didn't even get a chance to introduce them yet, so she can go ahead and introduce herself. I'm joined here with Andrew Berry. My name is Elena Bowman, and we are looking at game one of the Fastpitch HitTrax Open bracket round between Brittany Cervantes and Emily Benson. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm good. I'm excited. We got a solid matchup here. I'm particularly excited for this as we see them. Like you said, they're already rolling. Emily. Oh, is that going to be a double play? Nope.
Looks
Runner
like
safe at
it.
first.
Okay. A little bit of
So,
speed there.
so as we're into it, I'm excited about this matchup. It's Emily Benson is the 7th seed and Brittany's the 10 seed. If you looked at what they did in the qualifier, they had, I think they were separated by just 10 total runs, and they played 3 games to get here, right? They're in the top 16. So, out of all the players that competed, so if you do the math, as Emily smokes a double in the gap, Brittany's on her third out already, so she's going to be able to jump out to an early lead here. But if you do the math there, they're separated by just an average of about 3 runs a game. So, Emily's starting out hot, but I think we're in for a close matchup here.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And to give a little background to Brittany Cervantes, she went to the University of Kentucky, so she's familiar with SEC softball. She played some ball out in Japan, which is incredibly competitive at the professional level, and she also plays internationally for Team Mexico, who's qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. So I say that because she's got a lot of veteran experience. Like you said, I think Emily's jumping off to a hot start here. But I have no doubt Brittany's going to find her groove as we get a little bit deeper in this game.
And she hits an 85-mile-an-hour double into the left center gap. That ball was smoked.
So what we're seeing here, for people that aren't familiar with the online matchup, the way this works, right? You see bottom right, Brittany Cervantes is hitting out of the University of Kentucky in Lexington. Bottom left, you have Emily Benson hitting out a DBAT at Columbia Basin in Washington. So these players are going to go head-to-head for 6 innings. It's not timed, so I know the people that are familiar with the qualifying round, you got to time 20 minutes to score as many runs as you can. In these head-to-head matchups, you can really take your time. I think that's important here, because it's not quite such a run and gun. I think singles go a long way. And we're going to advance inning by inning together. So whoever has the most runs after this inning is going to be moving on to the next round. And Andrew always likes to talk about the weight of the matchup. So if we're talking about the money, everybody advancing to this round is getting $250 for making the top 16. There's $250 on this game. So anybody advancing the next round is going to be in that $500 bracket. So there's some good weight on this game, huh, Andrew?
Yeah, I love it. And Emily, as you were talking, just went 260 feet to center, 285 to left. She is just absolutely dropping bombs right now. There's the third out for Brittany. So she started out slow. These are 6-inning games. There's plenty of time left, but Emily's off to a hot start. And Emily, I think you mentioned she's hitting that D-bat. She went to Western Washington University, and she seems to be putting on a show so far. Do you see? Maybe you know a little bit about Brittany. Was she in Athletes Unlimited? I can't recall.
Brittany was not. So Brittany is she's the director of ops at the University of Kentucky, and it's actually pretty cool. She's this gives her an opportunity to train with the team. So as she's prepping up for the Tokyo Olympics, she's able to hop in there at the University of Kentucky and get her reps in and get her workouts in. But I will say, so Emily Benson, she works at the DBAT, so it's a family business. Her parents own the DBAT. She's been around coaching her whole life. She said her dad is a travel ball coach out in Washington. So there's no doubt that Emily's getting her swings in every day at the DBAT. Like I said, she's giving lessons out of there. She's coaching out of there. So I think, talk about getting work in. I think it just goes to show with the 11 runs she's put up in 2 innings here.
Yeah, she's locked in. And as you see on the screen, there's a foul ball on the right side. Brittany is watching, so she's gonna have to wait until this third out is recorded before we advance to the next inning. Another 85-mile-an-hour hit. That's impressive. Emily, her max exit velo in the qualifier was only 84.4 miles an hour. Only, I mean, that ball is absolutely smoked.
Right.
But
Smoked.
with that said, she's already broken that, I think, 2 or 3 times already. She hit 84.9, and I think that last one was 84.8. So she's on her game so far. It's going to be interesting to see. This 12 runs is a lot, but as you can see, that can happen pretty darn quickly. So I think I think Brittany's still in this without a doubt.
Definitely. And, you're looking at Brittany's screen a little bit. It's not that she's not barreling at the ball. It just seems to be going to somebody. I think Emily's done a good job of driving the gap so far. She's poked a couple out. But I think in terms, if we're talking exit velocity, they've been pretty similar. So, it's going to be interesting to see here if in the next 5 innings, Brittany's going to be able to drive a little bit more of the gaps because she's got a little bit of the Adams disease right now.
And she got her third out. The bases were loaded there. She could have really opened it up, but
done some damage. Yeah.
Yeah, we're moving on to the third. Brittany is happy to see that. So, and the one of the rules here too is these players they're taking full at bats. They're not working balls and strikes in this scenario though. We don't want any walks, so they have 4 pitches to put the ball in play. If they don't put the ball in play in those 4 pitches, then it's essentially an out. You can call it a strikeout if you will. So if you look at Emily's screen, she has 2 pitches so far, so she's got 2 more to put it in play, and she promptly does so with a 78 mile an hour bomb to left center field. I think you're right about Brittany too. She's squaring balls up. Everything has been 72 to 80 miles an hour. That launch angle is not cutting it, though. This defense is a little bit tougher here. So she hit the last one at -9 degrees and that one at 1 degree. Ground outs to the second baseman and shortstop. She's going to have to try and elevate the ball a little bit or pick a little bit of a better spot in the cage like that ball right there.
Just seems like Emily keeps finding the 5-6 hole or a little bit, kind of at the shoestrings of the outfielder where, oh, there we go, Brittany. There's a double in the gap. That's what she's going to have to do here, I think, is just get a little bit underneath the ball. She's hitting the ball hard enough. I mean, 76, 77 miles an hour. She's definitely hitting it hard enough to see some success. Again, she's just got to try to do a better job of hitting it where they're not.
There's
there
a line
you go.
Drive up the middle. Got a little rhythm. Oh, there we go. You see her celebrating. She got it. Oh, she didn't get the run, though. It's first and third.
She's got a runner on third. Now she's starting to find her groove. There you go. And so this is the beauty now of the qualifier, the bracket round versus the qualifying round, is just this ability to string some hits together. Again, if we're talking advantages to type of hitter earlier in that qualifying round, you're going to get a little bit more bang for your buck with doubles and home runs. So, I think it took a serious grind out of those gap-to-gap hitters to find a way to make it into this top 16. But once you're here, I think it's just singles up the middle if that's what gets the job done. Andrew, do you remember Nelly Rodriguez hitting out a bat flip baseball on the baseball qualifying round? I thought that was just really, really impressive showing of just, kind of gap-to-gap, station-to-station baseball. So I'm curious to see how many players on the softball side of things are going to take that approach.
Yeah, and if you recall from Nelly, I mean, I know you do, but for viewers that maybe haven't heard, that game, Nelly was in those, must have been the quarterfinal matchup or before that, and he was he was beating Todd Lott by, 7 runs or so with 2 outs in the last inning. And Todd went on a streak to come all the way back to win. So I say that just because, we have a 12-run differential right now. But really, I mean, that is a lot smaller than it looks in a typical baseball game or a typical fast pitch game.
And right on cue, Brittany goes dead center, 2-run shot. There you go. There you go, Brittany, a little celebration. One of my favorite phrases is that's why you play the games. That's why they make these games 7 innings or 9 innings. or 6 innings, I guess, in this case, right? It's you have every opportunity to put the ball in play, and it's not said until that final out. So it's just now we're seeing her get on a run here. I think I wouldn't be surprised this comes right down to the end, huh?
Man, I'll tell you what, Emily has spoke the ball, but I mean, she just hit an 82-mile-an-hour home run at 20 degrees, which is a low liner homer, but it's fun to see. You can tell Brittany is into this. She's celebrating. She held the finish on her last home run there, so yeah, I agree. She is in this mentally. You can tell she's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
There's the third out, so she's got an opportunity. Brittany's got an opportunity here with 3 outs from Emily.
Created. That hurts. That's a hard low line drive, and it's interesting. I just saw Emily hit one. I think it was it was closer to 70 degrees at 12-degree launch angle, and that's the ball that falls in versus a little bit harder 74 at 13. Has enough carry to get a shoestring catch for that center fielder, but it's got to be Haley McClenny out there, because I'll tell you what, it's a tough grab to make.
The pitcher was the all-time greatest defender in the baseball open, so I don't know if that's been adjusted, but those base hits up the middle seem to be going through a little bit more.
A little bit.
And she, you know what? I mean, Brittany from the last inning, she cut down the lead by a couple runs. I think she was down 12 going into the last inning. Now she's only down 10. So, we've got 3 innings left. We'll see if she can keep chipping away. It's going to be a grind by all means, but she is absolutely within reach here. She fouls one off. They both seem to be definitely trying to elevate the ball. If you see most of their foul balls, they're going towards the top of the cage. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're starting, like I said, kind of earlier, was noticing, and you said it perfectly, Brittany's got to find a way to create a little bit more elevation. Those line drives, they're just going right at them. So that's a great adjustment out of her, I think, to try to just go a little bit, elevate the ball a little bit more to try to drive the gap. But, I'll tell you what, I think Brittany's got some serious motivation here. So I was talking to her a little bit and asking her what she would do with that 10K. But she's got some great places she wants to put it. She just bought a house, so she said she'd like to chip away at that a little bit. And then a couple of foundations that she chatted about, which are really close to her heart. She talked about the Natasha Watley Foundation, which we worked with at this past NFCA convention. So the Natasha Watley Foundation finds opportunities for young ball players in the LA County area to be able to compete. So they each rec leagues put together, or rec locations put together a team. And so it's kind of twofold, right? Where Natasha Watley brings in coaches almost as an internship, and she trains them up and teaches them how to create a program and a culture, and then it gives these women an opportunity to play this game that maybe otherwise wouldn't have. So she said she wants to give some money to the Natasha Watley Foundation, and then also she said the Lung Force Foundation, which is a cause that's really close to her heart that supports patients with lung cancer. So I know Brittany, based on that conversation, it seems like she's got a lot she's playing for.
Very cool. That's great insight. So, all right, there you go. So she definitely has plenty of motivation going through her out here. And as we say that, now we go into the 5th inning, and she's down 8 runs. So she's still chipping away. Emily has remained somewhat stagnant over the last couple of innings. And you know what really comes into play is fatigue. Like these athletes are taking a boatload of swings. They're not switching out of the cage, and they're hacking, as you can see, on essentially every single pitch.
That's an excellent point. Just in the endurance factor, the ability to continue to put good swings on strikes and with something behind it. But I like their pace. I got to say, both of them, they're not rushing through. They're taking their time. It does kind of seem like Brittany's getting a little bit stronger, and Emily's starting to get that same Adams disease that Brittany had earlier in the game. So we'll see, which way this mojo swings as we go into the 6th. But this lead is getting cut down, Andrew. This is
heating up. This is heating up. You can see on the video, Emily is and on cue. Brittany rolls out, but she still has a runner on third with 1 out. Emily's down to her last pitch here. She's got 3 pitches, and she fouled it off. So that
That's an
would
out.
qualify
That's a big
as
out.
the first out there, the strikeout, her second out of the inning. I mean, if you look at the video, it's tough quality, but her technique seems like it seems a little bit fatigued. We'll see if she can turn that around with a base hit there. But yeah, that might be a big factor coming in, especially to the 6th inning. So it's 19-13. Emily, runners on first and third with 2 outs. Brittany, runner on third with only 1 out. There's a base knock from Emily.
There you go. That's a big run for Emily there. She was stuck at 19, I think, for an inning, or maybe even 2. So that's good for her to put that in. That hurts. Do you see that catch that outfielder
That
just
was a
made?
leaping grab from the center fielder.
That hurts. That hurts. That was barreled. But she still got 2. She still got an out to work with. Runner on third. I think this is going to be a big run for her to get across here. There you go, and she does it. So Emily, pretty cool story. Also, she's a Western Washington grad. She's really close with the coaching staff there. She was coaching there for a year out of school, helping out with the program. Unfortunately, that was a season this past spring that was canceled. But she's been able to stay around the game, and she said she really started to find her love again for the game her senior year in college, which I think is so interesting. Is just this, now she's around it, she's with it every day, she's coaching, she's giving lessons, and she's competing in the HitTrax Open, and she says she just has this absolute joy for the game again. And so this has been, fun competition for her to hop in and participate in, but you kind of see that in her play, just a little bit of go and all out every swing, just on this awesome ride here.
She's putting full force into every single swing, and we are going into the last inning. Looks like Emily is picking up, and Brittany is starting out. Not sure what happened there, but so Brittany's starting out, and she's cut the lead down to just 6 runs coming into this last inning. So are they going to be doing hit for hit? Did we talk to them about that? Do we know what
they should be doing at bat for at bat.
Okay.
I think Brittany's going to go ahead and start, or at least she should, as she's the higher seed coming into this matchup. So she should go ahead and get in there and take that first at bat, and then we're going to go at bat for at bat here to wrap up the 6th inning.
All right, let's see what she does to start it out. Fly ball to right field. Is that getting down? Wow. That's leaping tough. Grabs by the outfielder against Brittany. Oh,
and a hot start. Emily Benson, get out of here. Get some legs. With 284 feet on the ball flight there. That is wild.
Smokes. 81 miles an hour at 36 degrees. That is an absolute nuke.
Let's see if, Brittany should be hopping back in here at bat for at bat.
She looks like she's sizing it up. She's just gathering herself mentally, stepping in the box. There's a base knock up the middle. All right, yep. I like it. She's going to have to go on a pretty big run here. 7-run lead, or 7-run deficit, and Emily is just dropping bombs. I don't know. Maybe this format for the last inning might be to the benefit of Emily, allowing her to get a little bit of rest in between, because I really do think that her fatigue was kicking in the last couple innings. So maybe a few breaths in between hits is going to help her in this scenario.
Well, and you look at the difference in the score here. You look at Brittany's 34 at bats compared to Emily's 43. Right, I think Emily's just done a better job of getting these balls to fall in. A couple more singles, a couple more doubles, and unfortunately, for Brittany, those same balls have kind of been lineouts. Been a little bit more right at the fielders. But that's the difference in those 6, 7, 8 runs. Is I think just the number of at bats that Emily's been able to take here in this 6 innings.
First out for Emily. Brittany is chipping away. She's got 2 singles so far. 1 out for each player. So runners on first and second. Oh, is that going to drop in front? Nope. The
I
outfielder
don't think
comes in and
so.
gets it.
Not
Okay.
hard enough. She's got one out to play with a couple runners on. I mean, like you mentioned Todd Lott. Crazier things have happened, but Emily doesn't seem to be making a whole ton of outs right now. So I think Brittany's going to have to go on an absolute tear, and I also think Emily's going to have to roll over a couple. This is a pretty decent lead she's built here. Foul
So
ball.
two pitches, no balls in play. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it now, if Brittany steps up and hits a 3-run bomb, it's 22-17, and that's a 5-run deficit. So, but as we say that, Emily goes 80.7 miles an hour off the left field wall for another double. So yeah, she not only is Brittany going to have to step up, but Emily's going to have to cool off here to make this happen.
Good take. So like we were talking about earlier, all that veteran experience here in Brittany Cervantes, she's going to have to pull it out here. She's going to have to, again, keep stringing those hits together. Let's see what she does.
Oh my goodness.
Oh!
A leaping catch by the shortstop to end the game. And that just kind of, honestly, that is the perfect summary of this game for Brittany. She absolutely was smoking the ball all over the park. The defenders were making plays on her. I think Emily had a few more balls that went over the fence and a few less balls that were hit right at the outfielders as well. But, I mean, hats off to Brittany. What a performance. That was a heck of a way to end it right there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think they both definitely showed up. You look at both their batting average with runners in scoring position; it's identical. So I think they both did what they could with the opportunities that they had. But Emily Benson, you got to tip your cap. The Western Washington grad, absolutely no fears showing up against the All-American Brittany Cervantes and moving on to the next round.
Yeah, and I will say that Emily was not fully endorsed by me, but she was my pseudo favorite coming into this, just with the Washington location out here on the West Coast. So I'm happy to see her move on, and that was a great matchup. Honestly, if there's one thing that we've seen so far, it's that these girls are going to put on a show, especially as we get into the later rounds. Like just absolute bombs from both of these players, and it's exciting to see. So congrats to Brittany on a great tournament. She's walking home with, like you said, $250. Emily has just put herself in a position to move on to the quarterfinals, and she's put another $250 in her pocket. So she's up to $500 so far in this tournament. It's going to be pretty exciting. So we get a few more matchups today, right?
All right, awesome. Yeah, so we got, if you're watching this game, Emily will be moving on, and she will be playing the winner of Lisa Baracci and Hannah Flippin, the 1 seed and the 16 seed that's going on at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. But before that, we have a heavy hitter matchup in Amanda Chittister and Jessie Warren kicking off here at 1:30.
And you and I will be back for that one, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so stay tuned.
All
That's
right.
the first matchup. Again, HitTrax Open, presented by Lizard Skins and Marucci. Great first game, and we will see you all back here shortly.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
All right,
Bye.
see ya.